me talk to you.
Welcome back, guys, to Dad and Son Wrestling Reviews. I'm Son and that's Dad. And today we're going to be reviewing Dynamite.
Lord, shout out to our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, through his sacrifice all things are possible. We'll leave a link in the description, as we always do, to our church family. Plenty of content there for you to absorb if you're not aware of Jesus's words or the way that he preached for us to do our lives, etc. Get on board. Or better yet, get yourself a Bible and read for yourself. Also, a shout out to Taurus BJJ down in Port Kennedy. As always, thank you for supporting and motivating us with your Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu journey and giving us a safe space to grow together as a father and son and a sport we both enjoy. And just a quick little shout out also to the Rockingham Sharks. Thank you for giving Boy a place to play rugby league and start that journey and build friendships through team sports and learning to be part of a team and building relationships. As we all know, out in the world is one of the most important things you can do. You should never be alone. If you're alone right now, reach out to people. It's important that you have those around you. Community and social networks are the most important deterrent to mental health diseases, etc. So yeah, on to Dynamite. What would you say about Dynamite this week?
6-7.
Yeah, AEW Dynamite is on an absolute roll at the moment. Every single week is, for probably the last 5 to 6 weeks, has been enjoyable television. It's the quickest 2 hours of professional wrestling you'll watch. No moment wasted. This week was no exception. They're really building something. They're in momentum. You can feel it with the crowds in the live shows. The bump in television ratings. They've obviously they're starting to get that winning recipe again that we had several years ago, and they came fresh on the scene, and everyone was just galvanised by what they were doing. Obviously, not everything's going to be 100%. You're not going to please everybody, but if you're not watching Dynamite at the moment and you're only absorbing the Fed, get onto Dynamite. Not going to tell you to go and reach out for Collision. Collision is getting better and is including a lot more stories to coincide with Dynamite. So we're finding that we're having to increase our wrestling viewership every week to keep track of AEW storylines now. Whereas Collision you could miss. It was just a spot to put promptu matches together. It's now storyline related and really ties into Dynamite, and actually ties into the first thing of the night. They had a recap of the Young Bucks FTR. FTR putting hands on Young Bucks family, etc. to end Collision. Big angle building. Essentially turning this from something where it was just finding out who's the best tag team to something personal. Gives another element for the pay-per-view. They gave the younger brother, I believe he is, the younger brother of the Young Bucks, a nice little pole driver, and left him lying in the ring there for the Young Bucks to scoop up. So that was what we started the show with. How would you say the Young Bucks FTR storyline at the moment?
6-7, but what they did, 3.
Yeah, you don't really want to pick on. No, I shouldn't pick on Flemmy, but as we all know, it's storyline. Okay.
They're probably best friends in real life.
Oh yeah, they still have some serious mutual respect, and they'll be could really build something here. I think this goes further than one pay-per-view, so we'll see what we go from there. We then started the show with wrestling-wise with Mox versus CLON. Moxley picking up the win. How would you rate this match?
6-7.
Yeah, slow, methodical pace to start with. A lot of counter wrestling. Then you had the spots where CLON was, doing his spectacular, flippy dippy, bringing up, as a man that's had back surgery, when he arches up from on the floor, when he does that kip up, it makes me cringe. I'm like, you can tell you've got a nice healthy back there, mate. So he's very athletic, very good heel persona. Moxley was probably getting about 60 to 70% of the offense in, so there was definitely a degree where they were indicating Moxley's a level up, but CLON was getting in those cheeky things and doing explosive stuff, and essentially doing the work but Don Callis wants to chip away at him so Takeshita can get the title. This is obviously he's going through the Don Callis family and then trying to wear him down for the pay-per-view. We then moved on to a recap of Kenny and Swerve from the Dynamite the week before. The big heel turn by Swerve Strickland. I wouldn't say big. It's just you just retweak his character because he was the dangerous baby face. Now he's just
the dangerous heel.
Yeah, it just brings back that I've got a little bit of animosity because I've been left behind because I'm doing the right thing, winning the title. I was doing doing everything for me, being selfish, and that's how I got to the top. So he indicated that in his promo because he come out and did a promo, and then when he was first out, gave the broadcaster, gave the commentators a mouthful. Get away, get away, get away. Swerve comes up on the announce table. Crowd was still hot for him, even though he's a heel. Got some boos when he referred to, you don't like it when I do it to your favourites type thing with Kenny Omega and stuff. So the crowd was red hot. They were buying into every bit. The crowd was red hot the whole night. Pretty much it's probably not the end of this. I don't know if we have anything at Revolution. I think Kenny's off doing some video gaming stuff in Japan at the moment, from what I've read on the dirt sheets and stuff like that. He's a big Street Fighter guy, so he might take get the body heal up a bit. Obviously, when he's had so many medical things over the last couple of years, just bringing him in for little stints out, so he can do his best work then heal, best work then heal. I think is a good idea, and Swerve can continue on doing what he's doing. Maybe he targets someone backstage that's a Kenny Omega affiliate or something like that, just to continue that heat.
The Golden Star Boy.
Ibushi's leg's broken. He's not going to be back anytime soon. You might be thinking of what's his name? The one he used to rub with Nick DeMara or whatever his name is, used to rub the oil on his belly. Works as a producer backstage now. Maybe they bring him on TV and get him a little bit of a walloping backstage. That bids for Kenny. Or maybe he cheats the Young Bucks out of the FTR thing just to prove a point. Who knows where they go with it. So many options, which is good. We then moved into Orange Cassidy versus Gabe Kidd. How would you rate this one, mate?
6-7.
I am a massive Gabe Kidd fan. I like the realism of him. I like that psycho street, chavvy, British, no nonsense type stuff. And it fed off Orange Cassidy well, because Orange Cassidy obviously has the spots with the soft hits, tries to play the mind games and speeds up the wrestling when the opponent's just upset and blah. Gabe never fed into that. It was just like every time he tried to do his silly games. There was a few looks on Orange Cassidy's face where he's like, that hurt, wasn't there? A few of the chops and the racks. Orange Cassidy obviously got his baby face momentum swings and stuff like that. But Gabe Kidd won with a clean pin in the end. No real shenanigans. The shenanigans happened after the bell. You had Clark Connors come out, help beat down Orange Cassidy. Then who came out after?
Darby Allin.
Yeah, Darby Allin came out to entrance music for a change, not just coming through the crowd and all that. That popped the crowd. It's been pretty good how they've done that. They've just had him come through the crowd, little small, pops and stuff like that, and then finally having an entrance. He's come down on the skateboard and everything like that. Just a bit of, it's just little touches like that help keep people like, what's the word? Not getting bored of someone's thing, because Darby Allin's not really ever changed his character. So you do little stints like that where you just modify how he gets involved in things. And that makes him feel fresh. And now all of a sudden you want this Gabe Kidd, even though they versed each other again, all of a sudden you want this Gabe Kidd match again because you want him to get the comeuppance against the bad guy. And I think Clark Connors can have some sort of little program with Orange Cassidy. I think we were discussing this morning, we think there's a tag team match obviously coming, don't you reckon?
Yeah.
And then
Revolution.
Yeah, I don't think they do anything at the pay-per-view, maybe too close. I think this is a post pay-per-view, big Dynamite type matches or something like that.
Then you have like Gabe Kidd versus Darby Allin, no disqualification match at Revolution. And then
after Revolution, you mean, or at Revolution?
At Revolution.
Oh, so you think they do matches at Revolution, do you?
Yeah, and I think Orange Cassidy versus Clark Connors the Dynamite after.
Okay, I get you. I see where you're going. Yeah, I do think it's a good idea to try and get Darby Allin onto the pay-per-view. I personally think they wait for Double or Nothing, which is just after WrestleMania. So AEW's big one after WrestleMania, and they're in a 15,000 seat open air type arena from from my understanding. So getting Darby Allin on that card gets people in. So I think that maybe the Gabe Kidd thing waits to there, and there's some sort of stipulation, something where Darby can do his real crazy things.
Pin off the stadium right there. The rings that jump.
Yeah, he'll do some sort of high moment, crazy stuff. Maybe they do some sort of ladder. Who knows? Who knows? Darby Allin is crazy. We all know that. We then had a Thunder Rosa Statlander backstage type thing. Both warning Tekla that they're coming for her. Thunder Rosa obviously has that world title match coming out. And I think they're going to do the tag team at Collision now here.
Yeah.
So it looks like Statlander's cleared to return. Whether that was a true injury or storyline, I can't answer. But she had the 2 weeks off where she wasn't cleared. Statlander looked a bit like brooding in the background, so maybe we get a Chris Statlander heel turn. And maybe that feeds into maybe something with Willow. Maybe they go back to that with the TPS, who knows. It's good to see Thunder Rosa up and about. She was obviously instrumental at the beginning of AEW with the women's division. Got injured, they had a bad run of stuff. So to get her up and about, she was very passionate. Obviously, being in Spanish, we had no idea what she was saying. But
too much Spanish is
on both programs. Obviously there's a huge Spanish speaking contingent in America, in the Americas and stuff like that. It's obviously very passionate, but if you're going to do it for us other international viewers, maybe some pre-programmed subtitles would be nice. But no different than when the Japanese go off and it's but it is refreshing, keeps the sport more, keeps it more sport-like, more real. Not everyone should and have to speak English, obviously. Then we had the trios match recap for the trios title with the demand that was on Collision. The trios champs are still Jet Speed Rodeo or Jet Set Rodeo, however they say it. So the demand didn't get that one done in the end. Then we had a real squash match type thing, Knight versus Monsieur from the MX TV. Guys, a laugh. MX MTV obviously get a lot more work on Ring of Honor, but they're a very funny, very talented group. And whenever they pop up on Collision or Dynamite, that's always a treat. Place the camera well and all that sort of stuff. How would you rate this one, mate?
2.
2? Yeah, just a squashy. Kevin Knight gets it done. Promo, hyping up Hangman's chances. Says once you're done with MJF, Hangman, you got your title back. I want first shot. So just some mutual respect where he's hyping up Hangman, but also trying to build a title match for the future. We then had the Hangman MJF moment come out. Tony Schiavone was obviously in the ring, called him out. Hangman started, MJF was in quite shortly after. Did some work with a fake coin where it looked like MJF was going to get his stipulation where it was he could do whatever he wanted and Hangman couldn't. Hangman was going to have to play by the rules. And then we had a bunch of the different baby faces walk MJ back towards the ring after he looked like he was leaving triumphantly. That was Jet Speed and Brodito. Crowd was hot for Brody King again, carrying on and stuff like that. He's over at the moment, so the more they use him, the better. And then obviously MJF went back in the ring, had to give back the coin, double-sided coin, came over the earpiece to Tony Schiavone that Tony Khan's just going to call it. He's sick of the games that MJF's played, and it's Texas Death. So the stipulation for Hangman can't go for the title again if he loses is still there. So really, this is one where I really don't know where they go with it, because I thought MJF was going on a long title reign all the way to All In. Maybe Will Ospreay comes back and takes it, or like Kenny Omega, something real big for All In. You get the real babyface moment. But now I'm thinking, well, surely Hangman won't not challenge for the title again. He's only been champ twice, and he's quite early in his career. Well, not quite early, but he's still in his peak. he's one of the main baby faces of the company. So I really don't know. Maybe there's a quick title change again before All In. Who knows? I've got no idea.
I think Hangman's gonna lose it so he can actually have time with jet speed and do all matches at that.
Yeah, like I said, I have no idea where they go with it. Considering All In last year was Hangman's triumph at the moment, and everyone was behind him, and it was a huge deal. For a year, not even a year later, to be a match where he won't challenge for the title again, and then maybe obviously obviously there's ways around these sort of things with stipulations in the future, but it does bring a real element of who's going to win to this one, which makes there's a real thing on the line here. So people are going to tune in for it. It's a good idea. It's a very good idea. Dynamite, AEW on a roll creatively at the moment. Then we had Brody King versus Davis. Brody King goes over. What would you rate this match?
6-7.
Yeah, these were just two solid dudes just whacking each other. Both chop real hard, both whack real hard. They look like they were enjoying themselves. That real meaty crowd was hot for Brody King. I love that they're having Davis just work matches, even though he's not getting wins. He's looking real strong in defeat at the moment. Like the Moxley defeat was, the hand injury, so there was a reason this week. Obviously, again, playing off the hand injury, so it's just like he's just a smidgen off the mark because of injuries and stuff. But he's hanging with those top guys. I think that's the best way to build a person. You don't
That's what he did with Daniel Bryan. So.
Well, he did the same thing with Takeshita when he first came into the company. He was very, very near-abouts, babyface pops and stuff like that. Obviously, Davis doesn't get the babyface pops, but just couldn't get over the line, and then eventually gets that big win, and now has had titles and stuff like that. Maybe this is where they go with Davis, and he gets some hard-hitting titles. Maybe he waits around for Doyle to come back from the torn bicep, and they do a tag team title run. I don't know, but I like what they're doing with Davis. I'm not being biased just because he's an Aussie. But, I like the stuff they're doing with him at the moment. We then had Brody King does a promo afterwards, challenges Swerve Strickland for who's the most dangerous man. Obviously, Swerve, I forgot to say in the promo at the beginning of the thing, was offended that Kenny Omega said Brody King was the most dangerous. So it looks like that's going to be a match coming up shortly. I think it has stipulations of some sort, and I think it gets nasty. What do you reckon? And I think right now Brody King's got momentum babyface wise. We don't get involved in American politics, but that politics stuff has put some momentum behind him. Whether you disagree or agree or whatever, that's none of our concern. All we care about is watching professional wrestling. He's a grown man to make his own choices about how he sees the world. He seems like a decent enough guy, and he's a great wrestler. And he seems to be loved by the crowds and other wrestlers. So. All the power to him, momentum-wise, push him. I think he got stalled by the things that went on with Malachi Black and the House of Black, and Malachi Black just seems like he never wanted to really, do the whole trios thing, and that sort of felt like it held Brody King and Buddy Matthews back. But hopefully now that he's ventured off to WWE to be with his wife, Brody King can really be elevated here.
See that. They're gonna do Brody and what's his name? The one that you just said it.
Andrade. Swerve.
Yes.
Oh, you could as a trio where he comes back. He's got a long-term injury with that leg, which seems to be hopefully healed up soon. He can come back and wrestle. We also had Andrade come out and challenge Bandito for Revolution because he said he wanted a match as well. So look for a spectacular luchador style match there. Revolution. Some matches all you need is that to hype them. Bandito's not one of the best in the world. Andrade's proven again after some messing them out in WWE that he is top level talent and should be AEW champion at some stage. So these two going against each other is brilliant. Then we had a Kyle Fletcher promo. Okada interrupts it, congratulates him on being a champion, has a dig at Takeshita again, so they continue that storyline. And and so they've got a tag team match coming up on Collision where they're finally going to do the Proto Okada first ever tag team match. Look for them to just run through Top Flight, who's who's going to be their opponents. Unfortunate for Top Flight. But their time will come. We knew that they can go. So
I think they should do the storyline again that they had the big one.
Yeah.
Versus the G something. The one that had the people that used to be in Top Flight.
Oh yes.
If they go that again.
The puffy jackets. Yeah. I get what you're saying. Leo Lodge and Axel Andrade. I don't remember what their tag team match name was together, but they do great work. That was a great rivalry. They just got to wrestle a bit and have a good go. You can even throw Private Party into that mix and just get those young tag teams just rolling through each other, just some television matches on Collision. Be brilliant. And then we had the 10-man tag team Mile High Madness. Anything goes. It was very much like the Anakin in the arena. Jungle Boy's music was playing. I think they did about 3 goes around. Crowd was still waving and carrying on. They were fighting in the crowd. There were table spots. It was madness, like they say. Brilliant to watch. The only thing with these things sometimes is you'll miss one thing because the camera's focused on another. We've got to split screen it a little bit more, but that's the whole point of it. It's supposed to be madness, and they do it well. What would you rate this one?
6-7.
Who went over with the win?
Jungle
Boy got the pin on Ricochet after a lot of back and forth. Eventually, all the heels get taken out through tables.
It's one, and the big one got hit by the dust from a vacuum cleaner.
Yeah. Teo Leona, or whatever his name was, the big small boy, got hit in the head with the vacuum cleaner with dust and everything like that. So a bit dusty out there. Jack Penner was great. He went through a table himself, recovered in order to take Ricochet out.
He got another one.
Yeah, so there was spots galore. This Dynamite was great. If you haven't watched it yet, get through it. It's just 2 hours of the easiest television you'll watch in a while if you're a professional wrestling fan. What would you rate AEW's performance at the moment over the last month?
6-7. Yeah,
they're doing great. So that's our review of Dynamite. Look forward to SmackDown this week and see what the Fed can do to get a little bit of confidence in its creative heading into Elimination Chamber.
The next.
Yeah.
And we finally get to see what's in the crates.
Yeah, so there is some intrigue with the Fed at the moment, so we look forward to seeing you when we do our SmackDown review. As always, thank you to everyone that subscribes, likes, and views our content. It's been amazing. Thank you to our Lord and Saviour Jesus Christ for blessing us and giving us something that me and my son can grow closer together and just share our love of professional wrestling and the joy it brings us, hopefully with other people that feel the same way. Anything from you, big boy?
No. Bang.